dear alumni, it is really my pleasure to welcome you tonight to this webinar co-organized by EPFL Alumni and Innovaud, who's our partner and who's been supporting us with great content and collaboration in the last few years. So we'd like to thank them. During this event, you will have the opportunity to meet 3 amazing spin-offs from EPFL who have been started by alumni in the field of robotics. They will share with you their growth journey in the canton de Vaud. You certainly all miss the amazing campus of EPFL situated in the canton de Vaud. So if you are considering starting a company or considering also moving maybe or opening an affiliate abroad, why not consider actually canton de Vaud? The Innovaud team is here actually can provide you with free and highly valuable advice on the support that you can get to grow your activities here.
Thank you for being here and to be with us tonight. So if EPFL is one of the key words we all have in common tonight. I'm sure there are other words or other keywords which are representative of our community and our history. And I'm sure if I show you this picture, it will remind you a lot of good remembering when you were here in Lausanne at EPFL. And be sure that if you come to Lausanne and you have the opportunity, contact me and we have a beer together. Okay. Well, so tonight we have selected different keywords, which is also representative of our region, of our culture, of our history, and this word is microtechnology, and more precisely microtechnology in autonomous vehicle and robotics. I will give you 2 words on Innovaud, what we do, who we are. So we are the Innovation and Investment Promotion Agency for the Canton of Vaud, and we have mainly 2 main domains of activities. One, we call it Connect, and the goal is to help and support local companies in their development. It can be financing, coaching, networking, hosting, and promoting. The second part of our activity, which is the exogenous part of our mission, we are a one-stop shop to assist international companies who have an interest to establish their operation here in the canton. And you see here the type of resources you can get, the kind of support you can get from us. So let me introduce tonight the 3 more important people. So first of all, Steve Tanner from the company Ecorobotix.
So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. So a few words about me. I grew up in a farm. I'm a son of a farmer. You will see the link after with Ecologics. I studied EPFL at EPFL, microelectronics. And then I made a PhD in IMT, University of Neuchâtel, and I worked for 10 years as responsible for research in microelectronics and signal processing. And in 2014, I founded Ecologics with a friend. And for me, this was the opportunity to join my engineering skills, high tech, with farming, the farming world that I knew from my childhood. So a few words about Ecologics. What we do, it's ultra-high precision agriculture with data and crop protection. You see our main product, it's a machine behind a tractor. So our vision is to radically change agriculture for the better by respecting the environment, reducing soil impact, chemical use, water use, and energy use. So in a few words, it's make agriculture more efficient using intelligent machines. Our technology is based on 3 blocks. First, sensing, detect the plants with a high level of details. Then classify, recognize them with AI, and then act. This means do an operation on the plant through high precision spraying, for example, application of herbicide for weeding, but also insecticide or fertilizer or fungicide. So what we call in agriculture plant care. As you may know today, these operations are done by sprayer which are not able to spray where it's needed. It's resulting in a high loss of high usage of chemical. So we are able to spray only where it's needed. On the right, you see an example of a spot spray on the field on a spinach field. So here you see the accuracy that we have. Our spot spray is 6 by 6 centimeter on a field, compared to other companies which have much bigger pixels. So this is our USP, unique selling proposition. It's the precision. We call the Swiss precision. We like to call it the Swiss precision in agriculture. This allows to reduce up to 95% the use of chemicals. So benefits, chemical reduction, but also crop increase, because when you don't spray the crop, they grow better because the chemistry is also toxic for crops, and also less CO2 because these products are quite CO2 intensive to produce.
Hi, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here with you. So I studied microengineering. Then I did a PhD thesis in the Autonomous System Lab. After that, I went abroad for a postdoc, then back to EPFL to manage a project for an autonomous car. And then I joined Bluebatics in 2005. So when I started, we were 5, and now we are more than 50. So it has been quite a long time that I've been working at Bluebatics. So the vision of Bluebatics is to become the reference in autonomous navigation. Our mission is to help companies to meet the challenge of vehicle automation. On the slide, you can see some example of vehicles that we have automated together with our customers. The core technology of Bluebotics is called ANT, Autonomous Navigation Technology. This technology is competing with existing guidance technology, such as following a physical line on the ground, can be painted or magnetic tape, following tags, or doing triangulations with reflector. With our technology, there is no need to change the environment. We are using LiDARs mainly as a source, as a main sensor. The key features are a robust natural feature navigation. It is accurate, so we have ±1 centimeter and 1 degree accuracy. It's quick to install and modify because there is no change to be done in the environment, so it's really easy to install and modify. We use already installed safety sensors, so LiDARs, basically. There is no need to add additional sensor for driving. We follow virtual paths or implement obstacle avoidance when needed. And finally, we support any type of vehicle kinematics. So let's see ANTs in action. This is our first industrial vehicle that we have integrated in 2009. It's actually still driving. So with ANT, we can automate any type of vehicles, and we will see many examples. Here we see hospital logistics, for example. So again, accurate, quick to install, and scalable. This is another example. This is a Swiss company, Stöcklin. Here we have a forked vehicle and heavy-duty one. Here you see a vehicle taking the elevator. So we have interfaces, generic interfaces with different machinery. Here are some examples of omnidirectional vehicles. Here you have heavy-duty vehicles, an example of truck driving outdoors on a road that is 2 kilometers long. Some tuggers, like basically trains, outdoors and indoors, moving parts. Here, some more forked vehicle. We have implemented pallet tracking to adapt the path at the end. A clean room application with ABB. Service robots, such as cleaning machines, tour guides, disinfection using UVC. And we have a fleet manager that is able to manage different types of vehicle, including different brands. We have more than 4,000, 3,000 is wrong. So it's increasing every day on more than 1,000 sites. Okay, this year we have launched a website which is called ndriven.com, and it's actually a platform business model. Basically, it allows to facilitate the contact between the end user and vehicle supplier. And just a few words. So our headquarters are here in Lausanne, actually next to EPFL. This year we have opened 2 offices, one in China and one in the United States, where we have 1 sales and 1 systems engineer. We also have distributors in China, in Japan, Korea, and Thailand.
So Isochronic is much younger than my 2 predecessors companies, but still we have something very cool, and I'm happy to share this today with you. What you see here on the left side is a traditional robot. It's a Delta robot that picks biscuits from the left side and places on the right-hand side. And what you see here is that the Delta robot is what you see in this red rectangle is missing a lot of biscuits because it doesn't have the throughput. On the right-hand side, you see the new novelty that we're presenting, the isochronic robot. And you see that the isochronic robot didn't miss any biscuits, and it has a much higher throughput. And on top of that, it uses much space in the production side. So you see the large circle of the Delta robot and this very thin rectangle on the right-hand side. So we managed to get a higher throughput on smaller floor space. So this is a team. Melvin Haas, he's my co-founder. He's a fellow geek, and he's probably one of the best marketing and business specialists that I've met in my life. We both did our PhD at EPFL, where we met. I myself also did my PhD, as you can see here. I did it in the electrical engineering department, but very heavy software driven. And then there's Pierre Books. He's a bit older than us. He's an industry veteran for anything robotics and automation. And he has a lot of experience in building production lines. Here I show you a short video. If it plays, maybe I have to click once more. Here we go. Where we presented our demonstration cell at Automatica. Automatica is one of the biggest trade shows for robotics and automation in Europe. And you see here our demonstration cell. We have these funny little poker chips that we pick on the left-hand side and we transport them to the right. It allowed us to make very good contacts with all kinds of potential clients of different market segments. So you see the principle, you have this blue carrier arm on the top where these different pickheads move on linear rails. And the specialty is that we can not only move back and forth this carrier arm, but we can also rotate it, as you can see here in this video. So we are a bit a younger company, and I'd like still to show you the roadmap that we've done so far. So at the very beginning, we assembled our own prototypes, and we did it with our own funds. Then we incorporated about 2 years ago, and then was followed by a couple of prizes. So we won a design prize. Then we won the venture kick phase. With this prototype and the prizes, we managed to get the pre-seed equity round financed. A few more prizes. So we won the Technopark Pioneer Prize, and we managed to then close a financing round beginning of this year, where we had 1.6 million seed equity. After that, we went to Automatica, and today we have actually can be happy to share that we have our first contract signed for like a real production cell. And in order to finance this new development, we will looking forward to do a bridge financing round in the middle of next year. So there might also be some contacts from the alumni or from Innovaud that we can get some support for that. And as I said, we will have the first industrial pilot system installed by the end of next year. That will be in Europe, more precise in Germany. And we will be predicting that we will need another Series A funding round in order to then go into other markets, the United States and other European countries.
So we have a question to Pierre. Can you tell us more about your financial part and what was the key element that make you feel traction by investors, like first customers, first clear market path, and prototype readiness?
At the beginning, we have received a seed rent for 100,000, 0%. It was really helpful. We also have received some direct cash, 5K, 10K per year for marketing and IP activity. But basically, the first 10 years, we have been auto-financed. So we have been working on mechatronic projects to actually get money, and we invested everything to develop our product. And actually, the market was not ready when we started. We were a little bit too early. So it was a question of being patient, really. And then the turning point was really the first industrial vehicle that we integrated, and we were able to really show that it was operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it was really a game changer. Then people coming to us were really interested. It was really, really important. And then we have we got more and more product outside, and the first investor we had was Forste Capital. I don't exactly remember the year, but I think it was 2014. And last year we have been bought by Zappi Group. It's the world's leader in electrification of vehicles. And actually, Zappi is helping us a lot for many things, like for internationalization. It helped us to hire staff abroad and open offices in China and USA.
How easy it is to develop a technology, to start from scratch in relation or not with high school like EPFL or HES here in the canton?
So the short answer, it is not easy.
Not easy.
But of course, I mean, there's support structures to help. So far as from very early on, we built some ties with professors in robotics at EPFL, but also with HEG in Yverdon. And to get things going, and also it's a good resource for us to get talent in terms of internships or master thesis,
okay,
to get started. Then there's all the other support structures of Vaud and Switzerland. There's InnoSwiss, there's Innovaud, Latin. There's different coaches that we use, and for us as a younger startup, it's very helpful because we are we are always understaffed as usual. But if you want like a patent expert, we can get it through some funds that we get from Switzerland or from the canton of Vaud for negotiating certain contracts, and we need some law experts. We can get access to all these experts. Especially as a young startup, you would never pay 400 francs an hour for these experts, and this is what they charge in the market. And we would have to do it ourselves and certainly make mistakes. So there is a professional network of support that we can rely on. Yeah, I'll stop it here. Maybe my colleagues want to add something from their perspective.
Yes, for us, the journey was started with a collaboration with EPFL. So we are not a spin-off, in fact, a spin-off from EPFL, but we are all alumni. We started the project. In fact, the project kicked off really thanks to two things. The first was a loan from the FIT, which is now it's integrated to Innovaud. It was a foundation for innovation and technology.
Exactly, Fund for Innovation and Technology,
yes,
which is a kind of sister company of Innovaud, but part of the economic promotion. Yes.
Yes, so it was a 100K fund, which really allowed to start the project. And the second element was a Swiss grant that we got. It was a research project to develop the core technology with EPFL, Professor Jean-Philippe Tirant, and also with HEARC, Professor Cedric Billa, and we could benefit from the strong ecosystem in terms of innovation from the area. And I would say we had no difficulty to find the competencies, the key competencies to develop our company, which embeds a lot of different technologies. Because what I didn't show is that before we started with an autonomous machine also. So solar powered, autonomous navigation. So a lot of different technologies. And then, of course, the deep learning is the hardest and the most complicated, the artificial intelligence one, to detect the plants. So this is why we concentrate on this. But to develop this machine, we needed a lot of different skills, and we could find them very locally.
We want to address the question of growth in the canton of Vaud, growth in Switzerland. And before addressing this question with you, I would like to introduce my colleague, Charlotte Ducrot, who is a key account manager for ScaleUp program here at Innovaud, and who is going to introduce you our initiative, which is a global initiative called ScaleUp.
Good evening, everyone. Very happy to be here and to hear startups and scale-ups. Ecorobotics and Bluebotics are part of ScaleUp Vaud, an initiative that was launched 6 years ago by Innovaud to support scale-ups. And I'll just take a couple of minutes to share with you what it consists of. Slide, you can see all 43 scale-ups that have been part of ScaleUp Vaud in 2022. And you can see on the top right, Bluebotics and Ecorobotix. ScaleUp Vaud is an annual label. So every year we check that these companies and new ones comply with our criteria and are part of the community for the year. And the definition that we use for ScaleUp is the OECD one. So basically they have to have a job growth of 20% for 3 consecutive years. They have to have 10 employees on permanent contracts at the beginning of the period. They have to be registered in Canton Vaud, and they all operate in high-tech or innovative fields. So what we do for them is that we basically provide the services that you see on the slide. Peer exchange is a big one. We organize small groups by leadership role within the company. So more specifically, we organize a CEO circle, a CTO circle, a CFO circle, a CMO circle, an HR circle, where all the heads of these departments meet within their peers. And Pierre and Steve are actually part of the CTO circle. And they exchange on their challenges and their solutions and their experience in dealing with those challenges working in a scale-up. And we organize those circles 4 times a year. We also provide VIP services. For example, we help them find a new office. when they're growing and need to move on to a bigger place. We also organize networking events. We have special offers for them with partners, so they have discounts on various services. And we also have various community projects. To give you an example, we've developed salary comparator for scale-ups. We've realized throughout the years that it's really hard to go from startup to a growth phase, a growth stage for several years in a row. So we've developed programs for pre-scale-ups. This one that you're seeing on the slide is one of the main ones that we've developed. It's called Leading to Scale Up, and we organize it together with IMD. It's a program designed for CEOs and co-founders of pre-scale up. So what we call this pre-scale up is a company that has just raised or is about to raise a Series A and face all these different challenges that that are very different from the startup phase. So it's a 6-month program with 10 sessions with professors from IMD, but also from serial entrepreneurs that come and intervene in the sessions and share their own experience. And the topics are around leadership, organizational design, and strategic rapid growth.
At that point, I mean, are you looking the support you are expecting, or what is the frame or the ecosystem here to support? How do you qualify it, perhaps, as a first question?
Yes, I think for me the difficulty is not the question of support, because support is excellent here, and you find almost all you need. The question is first, do you know your market? Do you know your clients' needs? And is it the good moment to scale? Because one trap is to scale too rapidly or too early before you really have validated your market. And because there is also some pressure from the investors or from the environment that you have to scale. You should not miss the market. You should not miss the progression or the ramp up. So there is a pressure to success, and the difficulty is to be cautious to scale at the good moment. And because it can cost a lot to scale too early, and after lose or waste money on a scale which is not successful because there is not the market directly available. The risk is also to scale too late, but it's less a problem. The risk is to scale too early. But I would say in terms of support here, we had no problem to find the good support to scale. We had a rather problem to find the good products to match the market.
First, I can really talk about the experience of Bluebatics. So the first investor was really financial. So it was good because with the money we had, we could directly invest, hiring and going really fast. And also we had the possibility to put a lot of effort in marketing. The budget of marketing increased by a really interesting factor. And it allows us to hire many people and to have a better image and to be well known. The investor we have today, it's an industrial investor, and it's really interesting because we have not only investment but also services, and they are already established worldwide, and the services the group can offer is really helpful, I would say. And for example, opening office in China would not have been possible because of the COVID situation. And because they were already there with local staff, they could actually find people that we could hire. So this is just an example.
The goal was to help companies which are no more startups, but not yet established PME or small, medium companies to address internal question, organization, human resources, and so on. So you have to grow within your organization of a company. But the key challenge is really the market access, and to synchronize your growth with the capability of the market to accept your product if you are a bit early or not, because we are in a domain of advanced technologies, and of course you have to make sure that the market is able to accept and your product. One challenge we understand is going international, because we heard from you, we can develop a product, we can scale a little bit, even manufacturing here in the region, but at one step we have to think bigger and to consider going international, even in terms of production. Reason to go international are cost, or it can be also proximity of supplier, manufacturer. It can be, what are the main reason on your case?
Yes, it's first important to say that every product has different challenges, and it's hard to compare. Even in robotics, the challenges are different from all three companies. These are not the same product, not the same customers. So for us, the difficulties, we are selling a big machine. You cannot ship it. It's a 1 ton machine, 7 meters. So you need a local support for the sales, but also for the after sales. So to go to the international, to other countries, means that you have a strong presence, which is only possible for a startup like us. It would be too expensive to build this network. So we are working with existing distributors who know the market, they know their clients, so they have direct access. So we decided to go that route instead of developing our own network and do direct distribution, which would have been possible, but much more complex and much more costly. So for us, the key for going outside is really to establish partnerships with people present in place.
And these people will produce or manufacture based on your technology?
So there are different partners, distributors for the sales and the after sales, so contact with the client. Then for the production, it's another story. Also, it's really depends on the kind of machine. For us, our machine is so big that the transport costs become quite high. So we need to produce also locally. So for the moment, as we expand only in Europe, we produce in Switzerland and we sell to Europe. But soon we will open a production center in Europe. Also because Switzerland, you find the skills for small to medium production, but for large production, you don't find the skills.
Okay.
You don't find technical skills. It's hard to find good people to produce in Switzerland. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have also the trained people. Yeah. It's another story. Research or high tech, high added value product we have, but when it's doing big machines, especially agriculture, Switzerland is not the good place to produce. So yeah, it's limited, I would say.
For you, going out of Switzerland, is it? I'm sure it's you show that it's part of the game today. And how critical is it?
It's really important because our customer ask that. Actually, they want some guarantees for support, for example. So we would not be able to provide support from here directly because we have real machines. We have to go in person. So this is the main thing. And also for being closer to the new leads and also the culture. A sales guy from Canton Vaud has not the same approach as the sales guys from the United States or Chinese. So we also need to consider that. Yeah. For production, it's okay because we can produce everything in Europe. This is not the main problem.
Cool. If you want to keep in contact with us, I mean, to address your question, to address different questions, or for us, because your contacts were in your presentation and so on, we have not a slide with all your coordinates, but really all these gentlemen are accessible through us. You can connect with myself or Charlotte who made the presentation, and feel free to do so if you have specific questions. I mean, I had many other questions about Switzerland as how good is it to grow? Is it difficult? I mean, the Swiss quality and the research. I mean, we have been able to address a little bit the top of these questions. Of course, I thank you for being here tonight, for having us with you with us. And I thank you, EPFL alumni, for the organization, my colleagues here. And thank you to you for being here. And I wish you a great evening and a great end of week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.